The Five Dynasties and Ten Kingdoms period, also called Five Dynasties, was an era of political upheaval in 10th century imperial China. During this period, 5 states quickly succeeded one another in the Chinese Central Plain, while more than a dozen concurrent states were established elsewhere, mainly in South China. Traditionally, the era started with the fall of the Tang dynasty in 907 AD and ended with the founding of the Song dynasty in 960. However, many states were de facto independent long before 907, and the last of the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdom states, Northern Han, was not vanquished until 979. The the 5 dynasties were later Liang, later Tang, later Jin, later Han, later Zhou. The 10 kingdoms were Wu, Wuyu, Min, Qi, Southern Han, former Xu, later Xu, Jingyan, Southern Tang, Northern Han. Only 10 are traditionally listed, hence the era's name, 10 Kingdoms. Some historians, such as Bo Yang, count 11, including Yan and Qi, but not the Northern Han, viewing it as simply a continuation of later Han. This era also led to the founding of the Liao dynasty in the north. Other regimes during this period were Yan Qi, Zhao, Yiwu Jiedushi, Dingyun Jiedushi, Huaping Jiedushi, King Yuan Jiedushi, Yin, Ganzhou, Shaozhao, and Liangzhou. Background. Towards the end of the Tang, the imperial government granted increased powers to the Jiedushi, the regional military governors. The Hu-Wang Chao rebellion weakened the imperial government, and by the early 10th century the Jiedushi commanded de facto independence from its authority. Thus ensued the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period. The following were important Jiedushi: North China, Zhou and Bianzhou, precursor to later Liang; Li Qiang and Li Kangzhu, Taiyuan, precursor to later Tang; Lu Randgong and Lu Shaoguang at Yuzhou, precursor to Yan; Li Maozhen at Fengxiang, precursor to Qi; Luo Shaowei at Weibo; Wang Rong at Zhenzhou; Wang Chushi at Dingzhou; South China Yang Xingmi at Jiangzhou, precursor to Wu; Qian Lu at Hangzhou, precursor to Wuyu; Mao Yin at Tanzhou, precursor to Chu; Wang Shengzhi at Fuzhou, precursor to Min; Lu Yin at Guangzhou, precursor to Southern Han; Wang Jian at Chengdu, precursor to former Xi. Northern China. Later Liang. During the Liang dynasty, the warlord Zhou Wen held the most power in southern China. Although he was originally a member of Hu Wang Chao's rebel army, he took on a crucial role in suppressing the Hu Wang Chao rebellion. For this function, he was awarded the Shanwu Jiedushi title. Within a few years, he had consolidated his power by destroying neighbors and forcing the move of the imperial capital to Luoyang, which was within his region of influence. In 904, he executed Emperor Zhao Zhong of Tang and made his 13-year-old son a subordinate ruler. 3 years later, he induced the boy emperor to abdicate in his favor. He then proclaimed himself emperor, thus beginning the later Liang. Later Tang. During the final years of the Tang dynasty, rival warlords declared independence in the governing provinces, not all of whom recognized the emperor's authority. Li Kangzhu and Lu Shaoguang fiercely fought the regime forces to conquer northern China. Li Kangzhu succeeded. He defeated Lu Shaoguang in 915 and declared himself emperor in 923. Within a few months, he brought down the later Liang regime. Thus began the Shachuo later Tang, the first in a long line of conquest dynasties. After reuniting much of northern China, Kangzhu conquered former Shu in 925, a regime that had been set up in Sichuan. Later Jin. The later Tang had a few years of relative calm, followed by unrest. In 934, Sichuan again asserted independence. In 936, Shi Jingtang, a Shatuo Jiedushi from Taiyuan, was aided by the Liao dynasty in a rebellion against the later Tang. In return for their aid, Shi Jingtang promised annual tribute and the 16 prefectures to the Khitans. The rebellion succeeded. Shi Jingtang became emperor in this same year. Not long after the founding of the later Jin, the Khitans regarded the emperor as a proxy ruler for China proper. In 943, the Khitans declared war and within 3 years seized the capital, Kaifeng, marking the end of later Jin. But while they had conquered vast regions of China, the Khitans were unable or unwilling to control those regions and retreated from them early in the next year. Later, to fill the power vacuum, the Jiedushi Lu Zhiyuan entered the imperial capital in 947 and proclaimed the advent of the later Han, establishing a third successive Shatuo reign. This was the shortest of the 5 dynasties. Following a coup in 951, General Guo Wei, a Han Chinese, was enthroned, thus beginning the later Zhou. However, Lu Chong, a member of the later Han imperial family, established a rival northern Han regime in Taiyuan and requested Khitan aid to defeat the later Zhou. Later Zhou, after the death of Guo Wei in 951, his adopted son Chai-Rong succeeded the throne and began a policy of expansion and reunification. In 954, his army defeated combined Khitan and northern Han forces, ending their ambition of toppling the later Zhou. Between 956 and 958, forces of later Zhou conquered much of Southern Tang, the most powerful regime in southern China, which ceded all the territory north of the Yangtze in defeat. In 959, Chai-Rong attacked the Liao in an attempt to recover territories ceded during the later Jin. After many victories, he succumbed to illness. In 960, the general Zhao Kuang-yin staged a coup and took the throne for himself, founding the Northern Song dynasty. This is the official end of the 5 Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms period. During the next 2 decades, Zhao Kuang-yin and his successor Zhao Kuang-yi defeated the other remaining regimes in China proper, conquering Northern Han in 979, and reunifying China completely in 982. Northern Han, though considered one of the 10 kingdoms, the Northern Han was based in the traditional Shatuo stronghold of Shanxi. It was created after the last of 3 dynasties created by Shatuo Turks fell to the Han-governed later Zhou in 951. With the protection of the powerful Liao, the Northern Han maintained nominal independence until the Song dynasty wrested it from the Khitan in 979. Southern China, the 10 kingdoms. Unlike the dynasties of northern China, which succeeded one another in rapid succession, the regimes of South China were generally concurrent, each controlling a specific geographical area. These were known as the 10 Kingdoms. The Kingdom of Wu was established in modern-day Jiangsu, Anhui, and Jiangxi. It was founded by Yang Xingmi, who became a Tang dynasty military governor in 892. The capital was initially at Guangling and later moved to Jinling. The kingdom fell in 937 when it was taken from within by the founder of the Southern Tang, Wu Yu. The kingdom of Wu Yu was the longest-lived and among the most powerful of the southern states. Wu Yu was known for its learning and culture. It was founded by Qian Lu, who set up his capital at Xifu. It was based mostly in modern Zhejiang province but also held parts of southern Jiangsu. Qian Lu was named the Prince of Yu by the Tang Emperor in 902. The Prince of Wu was added in 904. After the fall of the Tang dynasty in 907, he declared himself king of Wu Yu. Wu Yu survived until the 18th year of the Song dynasty, when Qianshu surrendered to the expanding dynasty Min. The kingdom of Min was founded by Wang Shengji, who named himself the Prince of Min with its capital at Chang'an. One of Shengji's sons proclaimed the independent state of Yin in the northeast of Min territory. The Southern Tang took that territory after the Min asked for help. Despite declaring loyalty to the neighboring Wu Yu, the Southern Tang finished its conquest of Min in 945. Southern Han. The Southern Han was founded in Guangzhou by Liu Yan. His brother, Liu Yin, was named regional governor by the Tang court. The kingdom included Guangdong, Guangxi, Hanoi, and Hainan. The Chu was founded by Ma Yin with the capital at Changsha. The kingdom held Hunan and northeastern Guangxi. Mao was named regional military governor by the Tang court in 896, and named himself the Prince of Chu with the fall of the Tang in 907. This status as the Prince of Chu was confirmed by the later Tang in 927. The Southern Tang absorbed the state in 951 and moved the royal family to its capital in Nanjing, although Southern Tang rule of the region was temporary. As the next year, former Chu military officers under the leadership of Liu Yan seized the territory. In the waning years of the Five Dynasties and Ten Kingdoms period, the region was ruled by Zhou Xingfeng. Northern Han. The Northern Han was founded by Liu Min, formerly known as Liu Chong, and lasted from 951 to 979. It has the capital at Taiyuan. Jingyan. The smallest of the southern states, Jingyan, was founded by Gao Jichang. It was based in Jiangling and held two other districts southwest of present-day Wuhan in Hubei. Gao was in the service of the later Liang. Jiao's successors claimed the title of King of Nanping after the fall of the later Liang in 924. It was a small and weak kingdom, and thus tried to maintain good relations with each of the five dynasties. The kingdom fell to advancing armies of the Song in 963. Former Shu was founded after the fall of the Tang dynasty by Wang Jian, who held his court in Chengdu. The kingdom held most of present-day Sichuan, western Hubei, and parts of southern Gansu and Shaanxi. Wang was named military governor of western Sichuan by the Tang court in 891. The kingdom fell when his son surrendered in the face of an advance by the later Tang in 925. Later Shu. The later Shu is essentially a resurrection of the previous Shu state that had fallen a decade earlier to the later Tang. Because the later Tang was in decline, Meng Zhizhang found the opportunity to reassert Shu's independence. Like the former Shu, the capital was at Chengdu and it basically controlled the same territory as its predecessor. The kingdom was ruled well until forced to succumb to Song armies in 965. Southern Tang. The Southern Tang was the successor state of Wu as Li Bian took the state over from within in 937. Expanding from the original domains of Wu, it eventually took over Yin, Min, and Chu, holding present-day southern Anhui, southern Jiangsu, much of Jiangxi, Hunan, and eastern Hubei at its height. The kingdom became nominally subordinate to the expanding Song in 961 and was invaded outright in 975, when it was formally absorbed into Song China. Transitions between kingdoms. Although more stable than northern China as a whole, southern China was also torn apart by warfare. Wu quarreled with its neighbors, a trend that continued as Wu was replaced with Southern Tang. In the 940s, Min and Chu underwent internal crises which Southern Tang handily took advantage of, destroying Min in 945 and Chu in 951. Remnants of Min and Chu, however, survived in the form of King Yuan Jiedushi and Waping Jiedushi for many years after. With this, Southern Tang became the undisputedly most powerful regime in southern China. However, it was unable to defeat incursions by the later Zhou between 956 and 958, and ceded all of its land north of the Yangtze River. The Song dynasty, established in 960, was determined to reunify China. Jingyan and Waping Jiedushi were swept away in 963, later Shu in 965, Southern Han in 971, and Southern Tang in 975. Finally, Wu Yuan King Yuan Jiedushi gave up the land to Northern Song in 978, bringing all of southern China under the control of the central government. In common with other periods of fragmentation, the Five Dynasties and Ten Kingdoms period resulted in a division between northern and southern China. The greatest stability of the Ten Kingdoms, especially the longevity of Wu Yu and Southern Han, would contribute to the development of distinct regional identities within China.